Dr. King said, "The time is always right to do what is right." The RTC feels like it's right to participate in the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day Parade annually because his contributions to society directly impact the community that we serve. Whether you ride transit, drive, walk, or cycle, his life's work of equality and justice for all still applies today. In the RTC's first year in the MLK Day Parade in 2018, we chose a theme of Rosa Parks, the brave woman who would not give up her seat to a white man in protest of Jim Crow laws that were unjust and unfair to Black transit riders. The Montgomery bus boycott was a political and a social protest campaign against the policy of racial segregation on the public transit system of Montgomery, Alabama. The campaign lasted from December 5th, 1955 to December 20th, 1956. This was considered a launch of the modern civil rights movement and introduced a young Dr. Martin Luther King into the national spotlight. Our Rosa Parks impersonator was the most popular character at the 2018 parade.
In 2019, the RTC showcased the Freedom Riders, a campaign where the late civil rights legend, Congressman John Lewis, 21 at the time, participated in one of his first major events. 2 years prior to the March on Washington, D.C. in 1963, and 4 years before his beating on a bridge during the Selma March. Freedom Riders were civil rights activists who rode interstate buses into the segregated southern United States in 1961 and subsequent years to challenge the non-enforcement of the United States Supreme Court decisions Morgan v. Virginia in 1946 and Boynton v. Virginia in 1960. Both of which ruled that segregated public buses were unconstitutional. The southern states had ignored the rulings, and the federal government did nothing to enforce them. The first Freedom Ride left Washington, D.C. on May 4, 1961, and was scheduled to arrive in New Orleans on May 17. Once again, the RTC had a great showing as one of the most popular floats in the parade with a strong message.
In 2020, the RTC's entry into the 38th annual MLK Day Parade was themed Hidden Figures, based on the historic African-American women of NASA, Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. They were instrumental in the country's historic space travel success, including the launch of famed U.S. astronaut John Glenn into orbit, a stunning achievement that restored the nation's confidence, turned around the space race, and galvanized the world. Dr. King's unrelentless fight for justice impacted more than dining facilities and buses. The fight for equality and diversity enhanced our country's technological advances and the image of Black women at the same time. The RTC's onboard bus and cast was so popular that famed music producer Teddy Riley joined the team for most of the parade.
The RTC is proud to participate in celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The last 3 years have been educational and engaging. We enjoy the opportunity to connect with the African American community in Southern Nevada through a man who has changed the world. We will continue to be a partner of the community in celebrating the great contributions of Dr. King and others who support diversity, equity, and inclusion for all.